Hello, fellow humans. Katrina here. Quick disclaimer, I am a professional, not your professional. Nothing I'm about to say should be taken as medical, legal, or otherwise advice. This podcast is purely for education and amusement. That's it. Disclaimer over. Trigger warning. Today I talk about self-harming and touch on suicidal thoughts. If listening further disturbs the ears too much, please stop listening now. For those of you still listening, I'll talk today about what I don't know about self-harm, a few of the types of self-harming behaviors, reasons people may self-harm, not all the reasons, just some, good things people may get from hurting themselves, consequences of self-harm and those self-destructive behaviors, as well as getting help. And if you're ever having unalive thoughts, I'll touch on that. So the types of self-harm that are socially acceptable include things like tattoos and piercings. There's an entire community that enjoys hanging from hooks and testing their body's pain tolerance. What typically comes to mind when one hears self-harm nowadays is cutting. There's a very good book called Cutting. There are more ways to hurt yourself than just cutting. Other types of self-harm include punching yourself, punching walls, bruising with objects, pricking with sharp objects, starving, binge eating, and substance abuse. That's right, some people do self-harm through food. Eating disorders is a big one in American society, that people use food to cope and sometimes overdo it in terms of hurting oneself. So reasons people self-harm, I'm a believer in the biological, psychological, and social model of things. And so there's way too many reasons to list all of the reasons people self-harm, and guaranteed I would get it wrong many, many times. But some common reasons include wanting to escape emotional pain, wanting to control something in a world where all seems chaotic, and overwhelming feelings of sadness or numb or suicide. There are good things that people get from hurting themselves. I don't know of anyone in my existence yet who have met who does something without getting some benefit from their actions. Self-harming is no exception. There are good things that come from hurting oneself that many people just do not understand. It is an unhealthy coping skill that can lead to feelings of being content, relieved, and controlled, distracted, or other preferable feelings. There's also the dissociation that can occur and be a mental break from everything going on in real life. Now, the consequences of that self-harm and self-destruction. When the act is complete, the physical or emotional scars usually remain. Cutting can lead to permanent scarring, which can be a reminder of tough times. Feelings can ultimately be worsened from the guilt of hurting yourself, shame perhaps of hurting oneself, or the feelings of lower self-esteem. Take substance abuse, for example. This can be a short or long-term self-destructive behavior. A person may use cocaine once and feel the negative consequences of coming down from that high and not ever use again. Conversely, someone may become addicted and suffer the consequences of maybe a destruction of their family, social, and even economic status. It may seem odd to categorize drugs as a form of self-harming, but regardless of whether one cuts up their arms or shoots up, it is destroying the well-being of the body and ultimately survival in the long run. So getting help and unalive thoughts. Depending on your state, the local resource number is usually 211. And if you're looking for behavioral health services in your area, you can call the number on the back of your insurance card and ask about your behavioral health benefits. They should be able to give you a list of providers that are in network. If you're having the suicidal thoughts and are in crisis, it's important to reach out to another human being. You can even call a hotline. There's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, who is available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and services are in English and Spanish. Their number is 1-800-273-8255. So if you're having suicidal thoughts, please seek help. They might go away on their own if circumstances magically changed, but why wait? Connect with humans, even if it's online. If you don't want to pick up your phone and call, you can use your fingers and type. There is a website that allows you to just go on there and explain via typing what's going on, and they can help talk you down, bring you back into the moment, and maybe even be able to zoom out to see that things won't always be as bad as they may feel. And that website is suicidepreventionlifeline.org/chat, CHAT. One more time, that's suicidepreventionlifeline.org/chat. So today we talked about some of the types, reasons, and consequences, both the good and the bad, of self-harming, and how to get help if you're having any thoughts about wanting to hurt yourself any further. So I do hope that this has been an informational and educational episode, even if it hasn't been quite as amusing as I am in some of the other ones. We'll get back to humorous topics soon. I do appreciate each and every one of you simply for existing.